Good morning, chestnuts. Your maths today is going to be continuing on with what we looked at yesterday in our new multiplication topic. The first thing I would like you to do is have a look at this starter task, and if you need to pause this video at any time so that you can spend a bit more time on each slide, then please do. So the first thing you need to do is continue the sequence. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, and you then need to fill in the next 4 squares. Similarly, on the next sequence, apart from the fact it starts 5, 10, 15, 20. And question 3 says, what is the total score in each row? You've got A, where there are 3 dice, and B, where there are 6 dice. So I'll give you a minute to have a look at that, and then we will have a look at the answers. Hopefully you thought of 10, 12, 14 and 16. And for the next sequence, going up in 5s, so therefore we've got 25, 30, 35 and 40. If you look at the total of this score here, we're going up in 5, so 5, 10, the score there is 15. And here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. If you link that back to what we did yesterday, here you've got 3 groups of 5 equaling 15 and 6 groups of 2 equaling 12. Our learning for today is going to be answering the question, can I use the multiplication symbol? Now this will be a recap lesson on what you looked at in year 2. So hopefully for a lot of you, you're going to feel quite confident when it comes to the task at the end of this lesson. The first thing we're going to do is do a little recap from yesterday. So what is this array of numbers showing? How many groups and how many red squares are in each group? I'll let you have a little think and then I'll reveal the answer. Hopefully you said that there are 3 groups of 4. We've got 1 group of 4, 2 groups of 4, 3 groups of 4. Today we're going to revisit using the multiplication symbol, which is a cross. Looking back at what we've just looked at, we know that in this image there are 3 groups of 4 and that there are 12 squares in total. Therefore, we can write the calculation 3 times 4 equals 12. And then I want us to think about how else can we equally group the squares to show a multiplication calculation totaling 12. We know that 3 times 4 is 12, but let's have a look at this one down here. Now we've got 4 groups of 3. Therefore, 4 times 3 also equals 12. Can you think of any others? Hopefully you thought of, you could have 1 group of 12 and therefore 1 times 12 is 12, or you could have 12 groups of 1 and therefore 12 times 1 is 12. Finally, we could have 2 groups of 6 and therefore 2 times 6 equals 12, or 6 groups of 2 and therefore 6 times 2 equals 12. Therefore, and notice I'm using our spelling word, that were one of our spelling words from this week. We've got 1 times 12 equals 12, 12 times 1 equals 12, 2 times 6 equals 12, 6 times 2 equals 12, 3 times 4 equals 12, and 4 times 3 equals 12. Hopefully you've noticed that there are 2 of each calculation, it's just that the numbers have swapped places. And we can do that in multiplication. What we're going to do now is to think about trying it with 10. Have a think about all the different ways you can equally split up 10 of something. I would suggest you pausing the video here and maybe getting 10 pencils. You could find 10 of anything and see how you can equally split those up. once you've done that, we can then have a look at what we found. Hopefully, we found that we could get one group of 10, and therefore 1 times 10 is 10. We could have 10 groups of 1, and therefore 10 times 1 equals 12. We could also have 2 groups of 5, and therefore 2 times 5 equals 10. Or we could have 5 groups of 2, and therefore 5 times 2 equals 10. We're going to move straight on to your task, which is going to be repeating what we have just learnt this morning. I want you to have a go at as many of these as you can. You're going to be, for number 1, thinking, what are all the multiplication calculations that make 20? Number 2, what are all the multiplication calculations that make 16? And number 3, what are all the multiplication calculations that make 24? What I would do is, like we've done today, draw out 20 counters or 20 little people, 20 dice, and see how you can separate them equally into different groups. I look forward to seeing what you come up with, and I'll speak to you later. Bye!